Hi everyone, my name is Haig Manoukian. I am a TA for the USC Norris Comprehensive Cancer Center, sponsored Cancer STEM program, which is part of the USC JEP Medical STEM program. And I typically teach second grade students at Vermont Elementary here in Los Angeles, but today I'll be teaching you about cells and cell numbers. So what are cells? Cells are a very, very small unit of life, and cells make up all living things. So dogs, plants, humans like you and me, and they're kind of like Lego pieces that you use to build a Lego spaceship, right? So you use those little Lego pieces and you put them all together to build a house or a Lego spaceship or a Lego duck, right? So just like that, a lot of cells are put together to make all living things, like I said, plants, animals, humans, and different kinds of cells make different kinds of things. So plant cells make plants. Specific kinds of cells make tissues, which are the things that can make up your skin or other parts of your body. And cells can also make the organs in your body, like your brain or your heart. So cells can do a lot of different things. So what do our cells make up? Like I said, each part of your body is made of different kinds of cells. So for example, intestinal cells are used to make your intestines. In your blood, there's blood cells. In your muscles, there are muscle cells. In your liver and in your heart, there's liver cells and heart cells. And in your nerves, there's nerve cells. So that's kind of like, a Lego spaceship might need some gray pieces to make the bottom of the spaceship, but it might need a different kind of piece to make the roof of the spaceship, right? So just like that, different parts of our body are made of different cells. So here's another example of the different types of cells in your body. So for example, heart cells make up your heart, right? Liver cells make up your liver, right? And brain cells make up your brain. And cells grow and die all the time throughout your entire life. They're always regenerating, making new cells, getting rid of old cells. But sometimes those cells can stop following their instruction manuals. And so they grow really, really fast and they get way too crowded and they can't do their job right. And sometimes that leads to cancer in people. So let's think about how many cells there are. But before we do that, we have to think about, in order to appreciate the number of cells there are in the body, we have to think about some stuff that also have a lot of, have high numbers. So for example, how many stars are there in the night sky? So if you look up in the sky at night without a telescope, how many stars do you think you can see? Maybe 1,000, maybe 100, if you've ever counted them, maybe. So there's actually 2,000 stars in the night sky when you look without a telescope. Okay, so that's kind of a lot, right? A lot of stars you can see. Now, how many hairs are there on your head right now? Okay, so maybe a little bit more than 2,000, right? So there's actually 100,000 hairs on your head. And sometimes, 1 or 2 hairs will fall out just throughout the day. And that's totally okay because you have so many hairs, 100,000 hairs on your head. That's a lot, okay? Now, how many children do you think there are in the entire United States? So the United States is pretty big. So how many children, how many kids like you and me do you think there are? Okay. So there's actually 75 million children in the United States, like you and me, okay? And that's a lot. So if there's 75 million children, 75 million kids in the United States, in one country, how many people are there in the entire world? Okay, probably more than 75 million, right? So there's actually 7 billion people in the world right now. Okay, that's a lot. billion, not million, but billion with a B. Okay, that's a lot. Look how many zeros there are here. Okay, so there are 7 billion people in the entire world, and 7 billion people in the entire world, and 75 million children in just the United States, right? One country. How many trees do you think there are in the entire world? Okay. 400 billion trees in the entire world. So we said that there's 7 billion people in the world. There's 400 billion trees. Okay, that's a lot. Now, how many cells are there in your body right now? Do you think there are more than 400 billion or less than 400 billion? Okay, so there's actually 50 trillion cells in your body right now. Okay, that's trillion with a T. Look how many zeros there are here. All those cells in your body are used for a specific job, right? All of those cells, you have some heart cells, some eye cells, some brain cells, some hair cells. And all of those cells, those 50 trillion cells in your body right now, all work together to make you, okay? So how do we figure that out, right? Some scientists had to work on that. So this week's scientist highlight is Dr. Marie M. Daly, and she was the first African-American woman to earn a doctoral degree in chemistry, right? That's a PhD in chemistry from the University of Columbia in 1947. So when some of you go to Columbia, University of Columbia, you might see her picture on the wall, okay? And her research was really important because it focused on cells, like we just talked about. And specifically, she learned about cells in your stomach that digest food. When you digest food, the different cells that work to do that. Okay, so she's really important to what we know about cells today. Okay, and so that's all for this week's lesson. So I will see you next time, and thanks so much.